Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Dave DiIanni Show. I'm DJ Foster, joined by Grand Valley State head soccer coach Dave DiIanni. Coach, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, TJ.
A different way that we start off this week's show is you have your first loss of the season, a 3-2 loss at Findlay this past weekend. Your first goals, actually, that you gave up since September 2nd. You're on a 10-game scoreless streak in terms of on the defensive side. But you took a 1-0 lead into halftime. Michaela Edison goal put you guys up by a goal at the half, but then Findlay scored quickly in the second half, about 50 seconds in, I think you said. And then two more goals later, they led 3-1. You got a Maria Brown goal with about 5 minutes left to make the score 3-2, but you couldn't even it up. You were worried a little bit going into this game, as we talked last week, that Findlay was a good team, hard to play at, and obviously they came out with a 3-2 victory. Talk about your thoughts.
Well, yeah, Findlay's done very well at home and then continued to do so on Sunday, beating Ferris 4-0. So I think it's a very difficult place to play. I think, especially with the style of how they play. Mm-hmm. And you look at their record, it's, almost all their wins are at home. All their losses are on the road. So, I think it was a little bit of mixture of Findlay playing pretty well. And, as we looked at the tape, it was certainly, us not playing well. We didn't handle the direct play very well. I didn't think we made good decisions once we got the ball on the ground. And then, kind of gave it back to them to play it back in the air. And the game was a lot like a tennis match, and that's not our style. Again, I think going into the half, we felt good about where we're at. However, we knew that, we drew it to the kids' attention. We're just barely holding on. We need to take a little bit more, a firmer grasp to the game, and we didn't do that. Not only did we not do that, but we gave up a goal a minute into the second half, which is not a good recipe for success. And, and 5 minutes later, 6 minutes later, gave up another goal. So, had kind of a tendency to look like the national championship game where we gave up 2 goals in 8 minutes.
Right.
And we talked a lot about needing to, slow momentum down. Even if we give up a goal, we need to go back to taking back control of the game. So missed opportunities again offensively, but again, it's a game to learn from. And we just talked about not having one game, signify what the season's about. And we're hoping to get back at it on Sunday with Tiffin.
Yeah, that was last Friday, but 2 days later you were able to bounce back, which is probably nice in the schedule. You were able to kind of come back 48 hours later and play a Tiffin team that was kind of scrappy, and you said was a tough team to face. You come out with a 2-0 victory, both goals scored by Ashley Botts, both in the first half, at the 6-minute mark and the 33-minute mark. 39-2 edge in shots for you guys. Certainly you were more of the aggressive type in that game. You had a 6-1 lead in corners. Chelsea Parise didn't have to make a save and earned a shutout. She didn't stop a shot. But again, a 2-0 victory over Tiffin, at least a good way to bounce back and close off the weekend after the Findlay game.
Yeah, I thought our girls were, understandably very disappointed after Friday's game. I thought our leaders did a great job having, speaking and having a team meeting and, kind of just refocusing and talking about resiliency and not letting one game, determine, how the season's going to end up, and not forgetting, we talked a lot about not forgetting why we got to where we're at up until Friday's game and remembering some of those. And I think that's important. You can have 24 hours to be disappointed, but then it's time to move on.
Right.
So it was good to play Tiffin on Sunday. I thought Ashley Butts played very well, scoring twice. We went into a very strong, ironically, we played our best soccer going into like a 30-mile-per-hour wind, and then played poor in the second half, but, with the 2-0 lead, that's kind of human nature, not pressing for more. So I thought Ashley Botts played really well. Though we got some good bench play. And I thought our mids played noticeably better than they played against Findlay, and I thought that would really helped us. And we got a lot of people, off the bench, and so again, I thought it was a good win all the way around, and setting us up for an important week with the UP schools coming in.
You're 11-1-2 overall now, 7-1-1 in GLIAC play. Coaches sometimes talk about it's sometimes better to get a loss out of the way so you're not worried about trying to go through a perfect season, an undefeated schedule, and sometimes they say you learn more from a loss than you do from a win. Obviously, as a head coach, you want to win games, but was there anything you were able to take away from the loss to Findlay that maybe you'll be able to use in a positive way the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, again, it was, to tell them it was a combination of, how they played, but primarily how we responded to how they played. Sure. And we watched video last night, and it was very helpful for them. And, everyone's going to call Findlay for a scouting report from now on, and how did you play? And, not everybody wants to play that way, but it's important for us to understand that we need to take something from that loss and what we could have done better. And I think that everyone would say they'd rather go through the season without a loss, but again, it's your choice and how do you react, with that loss and what you learn from it. And our kids have been really good, and our leaders have really stepped up and led by example, both mentally and physically. So, again, you don't want to lose a game, but it's important to take something from it. And we've talked about that in our program since I've been here. I don't care about losing. I just care about our response to losing and why did we lose. So we learned something from it.
Big weekend this weekend for you coming up. Arguably your biggest game of the season up to this point. You have Michigan Tech coming in at 7 p.m. on Friday. They're actually in first place in the GLIAC. They have a slight edge over you as they're 8-0-1 in the conference. So talk about that. That obviously has huge implications towards who hosts the GLIAC tournament and then possibly maybe some NCAA regional rankings, things there. And then you finish off the weekend with Northern Michigan at 1 p.m. on Sunday. They're struggling a little bit this year at 2-7 overall. Talk about the UP teams coming down.
Yeah, I mean, right now Michigan Tech is in first place by a full game. Ohio Dominican actually helped us out a little bit in terms of tying them on Sunday. So now, with a win, we will be at least sharing the GLIAC first place bid going into the final weekend. So they've helped us out a little bit because losing to Finley took most of the control out of our hands. So again, to date, that's probably the most important game for us. I think for lots of reasons. We don't really want to change anything we've got going on. We want to make sure that our goals are still there, that we can achieve, and our number one goal is to be GLIAC champions.
Right.
So we have a shot at that, and it just so happens that we play the team that's in front of us to do that on Friday. So it should be an exciting game. We're going to have breast cancer awareness night. All the donations will go to Kelly Cares Foundation. And the girls will be wearing some pink socks and headbands and things of that nature, and there'll be some pink logos on the field. So it'll be a nice game to be able to put to support for those who lost the fight against cancer. And
then you're doing something on Sunday as well, also raise cancer awareness.
Yeah, Becky Wilson was an alumni of ours who passed away in 2003, and we're going to have a teal day on Sunday against Northern Michigan. Again, all donations will go towards the fight against cancer, and it will be a good weekend because it's homecoming football. We have our alumni weekend, so a lot of alumni will be back on campus to be able to draw a connection between the current and former players of ours, and again trying to raise any money at all towards the fight towards curing cancer.
Definitely a good cause. And again, Michigan Tech at 7 p.m. this Friday, Northern Michigan at 1 p.m. on Sunday. So come on out and support the Lakers and support their fight to raise awareness for cancer. Dave, best of luck this weekend, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, TJ.
Thanks for watching the Dave DiIanni Show here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.